Hey, it's Bart. I'm back in solo here with a couple Christmas surprises. I'll explain here. Let me get a little bit of this SMWS in. This is some of that moonlight in New York. You can see our video on that. Folks that join, if they pay a little extra, I think it's like $46 extra over what's normal, the $99. They get this beautiful bottle at one of 204, and it's 59.5. So two things. One, I'll talk more about our little Christmas card that's going out to our Patreon followers here in a little bit. But I want to thank Chris Banks from Wildlife Photography. So we've talked about some of Chris's stuff in the past and talked about wildlife photography, and then Chris or Scott came over and said, hey look, Chris sent these pictures and he shows me these, and I'm like, that's a Lancaster. That is the British, or the UK, sorry, I always make that error. You should see what I do on the war game side when I say British, and it turns out that like the Irish and the Scotch and the Welsh were all in the battle as well. Ooh, I get roasted. So let me say again, the UK used the Lancaster. It was their heavy bomber in World War II. They did a few little daylight things. Of course, you've got dam busters involved. That's a whole side deal, but they did tons and tons of night fighting. But it is an amazing bomber. And the second I saw it, I was like, wow. I go, that's a Lancaster. He goes, yeah, you knew that right off the bat? I said, you bet I did. So again, Chris Banks sent these along, and these are phenomenal. All right, 2018 memories. Now, you're not going to be able to see that super clear. What I will tell you is that for our Patreon members, so please, if you're not backing us on Patreon and you like the show, even just a wee little bit, you can go to Patreon, Scotch Test Dummies. So just go to Patreon, search up Scotch Test Dummies. You'll find us. You can do as little as $1 a month. That's $12 a year, please. It's very helpful for us, but it's not going to hurt you. You can do $1 a show. We got some people that do a whole lot more than that, and we thank all of our Patreon backers. We do have little kickers along the way where you can get like special unique whiskey hats or coins and shirts and different things. But one thing we do is we'll send out a Christmas card. I just got all these mailed, so you guys that are Patreon supporters and gals and have supplied an address. We've got to have your address. There's an area in Patreon where you can provide your address. If you don't want to, totally cool. We'll never spam you. We'll never send stuff to you other than stuff like this. And if it turns out you didn't get one of these, send a message. If you're a Patreon backer, either you don't have your address in there or maybe I messed up. I did all of it, so it's quite possible. The whole idea of these, and any new Patreon subscribers will get one sent to them as well, even if it's later into 2019, is to just have some whimsical fun. So Scott and I, at one point he's pushing me on a swing. Hello. Then I'm pushing him. We talk about that, like whiskey, a swing should be shared. Okay, and then we've got a little picture with the chupacabra by the fireplace, and we're hanging out on a play set and talking about how whiskey brings people together. The other thing I would love, if you want to send us a Christmas card, anybody can do it, whether you're a Patreon supporter or not. You can always send it to Scotch Test Dummies, P.O. Box 771-265. That's P.O. Box 771-265, Wichita, Kansas, 67277. Send us a Christmas card if you want. We may show them, we don't guarantee, but we may show some of them on the air. I can tell you one's already en route from Europe. Hello. I've been told that one is coming. But again, so just a little kicker. If you want one of these, you do have to be a Patreon supporter. There is one individual that I just remembered I have to get one too. They're not fans of Patreon for their own reasons. Perfectly fine. However, they've donated to us outside of Patreon, which you can always do. ScotchTestDummies@gmail.com. And I need to send one to you, my aardvark friend. You will know who you are with that statement. That is it. Scott and I are going to do some wonderful shows either very late December or January talking about best whiskeys of the year, best scotch, best bourbon. I don't know if we'll have enough for a rye. We may do our best experience. Who knows? We'll see. That'll be coming. We also got to do our gassing video. I've gone on long enough. This is delicious. Thank you for the wonderful Lancaster photos. And if you want a 2018 Memories Happy Holidays Christmas card from the Dummies, go back us on Patreon and provide your address. I will send them out while supplies last. I've got a fairly good number. I bet I'll run out sometime in 2019. But while supplies last, I'll be sending them out. You should be good for the first few months. Go back us. Go to patreon.com. Go look up Scotch Test Dummies. Join the party. See you guys. Bye.